Okay, hey, this is David. Let us get started in this now. This is David Richardson. My name is David Richardson. You see my picture on the screen, but you don't see my name at the present time. But this is David Richardson. I'm a graduate of the University of Arkansas. I graduated from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. That's UAPB, as you see on the screen. And from 1963 to 1967, I was an accounting and business administration major, and I graduated in 1967 in those two fields. And you see under that, instead of putting my name, I put my cashback bank. And you do also have a cashback bank. I just want you to know that your cashback bank happened to be you. And I'm going to explain that as we go through this process. Now, let me give you some background of myself. What I did after I graduated from the University of Arkansas. I worked in the federal government for many years as an accountant and also as a budget analyst. And left that and started my own process in 1981. But now, prior to 1981, working as a budget analyst and also as an accountant in the government, I was also preparing income tax. Started in 1968. So since 1968, I have provided preparation of tax and also income tax advice. And this is really not all about income tax advice, but yet it is primarily giving you information as to what you should do about this new tax law that just took effect in January the 12th. I'm sorry, January the 2018, that was signed into law on December the 22nd of 2017. The President of the United States signed a new law in effect that had the old law that had been worked over for the past 40, 50 years with just some minor changes. But now the major change took place of January the 1st of 2018, and that change not just changed the law, but it also changed the method of you reporting what you report to the law as your tax return. We're going to be showing you in a few minutes this postcard 1040 form that's now have that was promised that we were going to have, and when we submit our new tax return in 2018, is a postcard now. And the cashback bank process that you see is to show you how to use that postcard to your advantage as opposed to letting the postcard be a disadvantage to you as it was implemented. It was implemented primarily to help well businesses as opposed to individuals. And but more individuals submit the postcard than businesses. But everybody still promoted the presented to the government the 1040 form. The 1040 form is a standard form, 1040, 1065, but the 1040 is primarily for individuals. The 1065 is for different kinds of businesses of like partnerships and things of that nature, and all different kinds. We're not going to get involved with the forms as much as we are with the law. And the law is what we're talking about. You get it in this entire process. So again, I'm going to move on. I just wanted to introduce myself to you to let you give some background of myself. That I grew up in Arkansas. I graduated from the University of Arkansas, and since let's say 1967, I have been outside of Arkansas doing other things. Oh, let me give a little bit more background of what I did before I did anything. I started working on my master's degree in the 70s in accounting. I worked with a master's degree also in management information system. I've had extensive hours of CPA review before I sit for the CPA exam. I have extensive hours in business law. Matter of fact, I was intending to go to law school, and I had quite a few hours over. I think it was 16 or 17 hours in business law, but I didn't decide, someone else decided for me, the government primarily, that I would not be able to go to law school, and that's another story for another day. But I didn't go to law school, but I do have an extensive study in business law and and also in insurance. I worked as an insurance agent. I worked also in the field of real estate. I also have over 10 years as a mortgage broker. So I've done quite a few things to help people, and that's really what I really try to do because I honestly believe as a student of the Bible that God meant it when he said that it is more blessed to give than it is receive. And I honestly believe that my tenure as giving and understanding the principle of giving enable me to have what I have and to gain what I've gained through the process of helping other people and to try to give them as much as you can possibly give them, and your rewards will come back greater. Now, also as a student of the Bible, in the study of the Son of Man, the discussion that the glory of God had with the Son of Man. He said in the Son of Man, to go tell the people to do this or do that. And go tell them that I said I am the Lord. I want them to do this. I want them to do that. But he said, I want you to remember now that they are a stiff-necked people. They are not going to listen. I'm asking you to listen to what I'm permitting in this presentation, because it's going to help you. If it's adhere to the advice that I'm giving in here, it's going to help you reduce your tax liability, and it also may help you enhance your tax refund. If you do not adhere to some of the information, it may come back with a larger liability and or a lower refund. I don't know. I just want you to listen to what I'm saying, and that's all we're going on with this presentation now. Again, this is David. Let us go forward. Now, again, the law changed, and this is just to show you that 2019, you're going to be submitting your 2018 tax return for the last 12 months from January 2018 up to through December of 2018. In January, you can submit your 2018 tax return. They probably won't be ready for you to submit. That is, that the government, way things are looking now, have not finalize all of the instructions that need to be finalized for all of the changes in all of the forms, the new forms that's been submitted, and the change of the old forms, and the new law has created, well, not enough time for a year for this process to really take place, and you have it ready to go by January the 1st, or maybe before April the 15th. I don't know, but I don't believe that it's going to be ready by January the 1st. But nevertheless, let's don't talk about that. Help me prepare my income tax return.com. Help me prepare my income tax return.com. That is me giving you some tax advice about you getting help to prepare your income tax return. That's what that is about. The required forms and schedules have all changed in the new tax law in the United States of America. The law changed, and the forms changed, and the schedules changed, and help me prepare my income tax return.com is going to give you information about this process. So let us go on with this process. I'm now going to show you some of the information that have changed the process. Okay, now before I do that though, I want to emphasize that it takes people, it takes a property or properties or businesses for you to pay less on the income tax. One of the leaders of our country, well, I say the primary leader of our country, have a whole lot of properties, rental properties. He has a whole lot of businesses. He has one child, so he doesn't have a whole lot of people. What he have children, but his adult children won't probably be on his income tax return, but his minor child may be on his income tax return. So he has a person. He also is a married, so he'll be having a joint return. He can have a joint return. I don't know if it is, but he can have. So what everybody needs: people, property, or business. Our president have people, his child, and his wife. He has rental properties. He has businesses. So he has all the ingredients that's needed in order to reduce the liability. You and I are the same way. We need to have people, property, or business on our tax return. If we don't have people, if I'm a single person, and there are single people that don't have any children, and those single persons may not even have a rental property, those single persons may not even have a business, those single persons may be living in an apartment or in a condo and don't have anything except the condo fee or the apartment rent that they're paying to put on their new 1040 form. We don't know, but I can tell you this, that if those persons had a business or businesses, then they perhaps would pay less liability and get a larger refund. If those persons that are married that don't have a business or rental property and no children, they perhaps also would have be better off by having a business or businesses, and really may not have a rental property, but they can afford a $20 business. And what we're talking about, I'm going to stop that. What we're talking about here is them having a $20 business. Yep, you can start this. What I'm going to be talking about in this presentation is to show you how to start a $20 business. I'm going to give you a couple of witnesses in this presentation. One of them is from the government. Internal Revenue is going to give you a video as a witness, and also I'm going to give you the witness as I have this $20 business. And you put this $20 business on your 2019 income tax return, and then you'll pay less liability and perhaps get a larger refund. That's what we're going to be talking about. It's show you how to help me prepare my income tax return. Go there, and that's going to help you prepare your income tax return. There's another one I'm going to give you later on in this whole presentation. It is show you to upgrade your income tax return.com. Upgrade your income tax return.com, because the government has changed your income tax return, and you have to change along with the change that's already have taken place in order for you to pay less in order to get more in the process. That's what this is all about. And the changes to the law still have not been all concluded, because even up to, as you're going to find out when you go to help me prepare my income tax return or either upgrade my income tax return, you're going to find that the changes that have already taken place are continually to change and won't be finalized until the year 2025 before it ends with the change. And we don't know what's going to take place in the meantime. Just be prepared for a change in the tax law, and you do that by having the ingredients that you need, or the three things that you need in order to not to pay a whole lot of tax and to get a larger refund. You need people, you need a property or properties, business or businesses on your tax return. Now, one person is a person, but two people, dependents, are people. You need people, a property or properties, business or businesses on your tax return in order to pay less and to get back more on your return. Okay, so we're gonna go on with this. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Again, I just wanted to emphasize, give you an emphasis of what we're talking about. Now, I'm gonna give you this information as we go down. This is the new postcard 1040 form. Yep, it's now in a postcard form. The president did say he was going to put it in a postcard form, and I took this information directly from the Internal Revenue website. So don't look for it to be anywhere but the name. It may be a fictitious name, the Social Security number fictitious. Everything that you see on this 1040 and also the schedules that I'm going to show you, I took it from the Internal Revenue's website, and you can go there and see the same information yourself on the Internal Revenue's website. Okay, but again, the method for filing is a postcard process. It is the size of a postcard, the front and back side of the 1040, and this is the front side. I just want to emphasize to show you some of the things that have not changed with regards to it. At the top, though, at the top, it have the single. This filing status is a single, married filing joint, married filing separate, married filing household, and qualified widowers. That's didn't change. It always been that. The process did not change on the form. And Star Joe, the standard deduction is there, and someone can claim you as a dependent. All these information here is saying before January the 2nd, 1954. See, these data didn't change with regard to collecting it from the government. It's home address, the city, state, dependent's name, social security number, etc., etc. That is on the old form as well. But the new form is changed. In the back of the new form is what we're going to talk about, is made the change. Now, forgive me, I was stopping periodically and drink water in order for my throat not to dry up too bad. Okay, now there's one thing that I also want to point out on here that does not change is for the protection, the PIN that you have, and identity theft, because identity theft is going really wild with regard to people stealing your income, and you can also get identity theft identification numbers. Now, the back of the card is this. This is the back of the 1040. And it has changed. See how much has changed from the old form. But the one significant point I want you to see on the back of the form is I put the 3 arrows here to show you the standard deduction, because the standard deduction increased for individuals. The standard deduction that went up to $12,000 for an individual, single individual, a married individual that are single that's filing is 12, but married couples is 24,000. For a head of household, it's 18,000. That's why I put that in a little box to show you that's on the form. I didn't put the box there, I just put the arrows there. Well, on the form, it's showing you their standard deduction, and a person may be taking standard deduction. If you're living in an apartment and paying rent, you perhaps are going to take the standard deduction. If you're married, and live in an apartment and you're paying rent, you may want to take the standard deductions, because you may not have no itemized deductions, or you could have itemized deduction to exceed it. I don't know what your giving would be, because one thing that did not change from the itemized deduction was the contributions. Contributions, you still get 100% of what you give away, and I don't know if you're going to give everything away, but you do have an opportunity for your deductions, I'm sorry, that your contributions can exceed your standard deduction. You may give away more than 12,000 individually. I don't know if you're making, say, if a tither, the tenth. If you make 200,000 and you give away 20,000, then you may not want to take the standard deduction as you may want to take the itemized deduction to deduct the 20,000 as opposed to deducting the 12,000 per individual, 12,000 for the husband, 12,000 for the wife, or 24,000 standard deduction. Whereas if you gave away 20,000 each, that would be 40,000 as opposed to giving away, taking deduction for 24. Okay, now for moving on, if you had a household and you got a child, your child under age 13 is going to get an additional credit added to the child. So if you got more than one child under 13, then you're going to get quite a few dollars for those credits because your children's credits went up. And that's your standard deduction then would be the 18,000. So you get 18,000 standard deduction, and if you got 5 children, and you got quite a bit there to deduct from your income. But if your income is exceed 150,000, well, it's going to affect everybody, but your deduction would be more. And if you have a business now, that's what we're talking about. I'm going to talk about that later. But if you have a business, you can see that it would take effect even more. But the 1040 form is back of the 1040 form, what you see has a standard deduction is there. It also gives you a qualified business income deduction. Make sure you pay attention to line 9. Line 9 was not on the back of the old form, but make sure you pay attention to line 9 of this, and this is a qualified business income deductions, and you have to see the instructions, but the instructions for have not yet been out. But this is just to give you an idea of the kind of income that we're talking about of the changes of this new form. I'm not going to try to get into that now because that was not the purpose of this. This is just to introduce you to the new form, and the purpose of this is to give you the people, the property, and the business advice. The business advice is primarily what I'm talking about, and this is Schedule 1. The Schedule 1 is the additional income and adjustments to your income. Now, the old form did have adjustments to the income. If you had to come up with a total income and you had different kinds of things like moving expenses, which are no longer applicable. If you had student loans and different kinds of things, you could make an adjustment to your income. What was not there in the old form was the additional income before you get your adjusted gross income. And now we're talking about your total income can be added additional income, and you can just take the adjustments to your income. So you get making 2 steps in one, which is Schedule 1, the additional income and the adjustments to income. Those are the 2 steps that were not there in the old. I'm not going to get too much in that. This is not 101. And then your adjustments to your income is also identified in this Schedule 1. Schedule 2 is the attached also to your 1040 tax. There are 2 kind of tax with this. Well, in the old form, there were different kind of tax. We call it salt tax. But in the old form, the salt tax were different than these tax here because these are 2 different kind of tax. If you notice, 38 through 43 is gives you a calculation of the kind of tax. So all this is coming from your instructions. You have to attach different forms to this form, and the alternative minimum tax did not go away either. As you notice, the alternative minimum tax is still there, but there's some criteria changes that did take place, but you still got that alternative minimum tax. I was under the impression that one time they were going to completely disappear, but they didn't all completely disappear. That's a categorical change that we're going to have to look at later on. But this is just to give an introduction of the different kind of schedules. Now, Schedule 3 is a different deduction than that. Now, Schedule 3 is a non-refundable credit, if you know what I'm saying. Now, remember now, Schedule 2 was about tax, right? And Schedule 3 is a non-refundable credit. And we're going to not get into that, but you notice how different forms, the 2441, that's for child care credit, and the 8880, all these different forms, the 5695, the 3800, these are 8801. All these are different forms that you would have to complete in order to complete Schedule 3, and in Schedule 3 information then will be carried forward to the 1040, if you can hear what I'm saying. So it's a whole lot more work involved in understanding this process than what you had on the old law. Schedule 4 is the other tax. Remember back in Schedule 3 was tax, and then here we come with tell us Schedule 4 with other tax. So there's different kinds of tax. And you notice the attached forms. You have to attach a form 8819. You have to attach a form 4137. You have to attach a form 5329. And your Schedule H or household employment taxes. These have to be attached now to the form 1040. All these are forms attached to the 1040. Whereas in the old form didn't have all these attachments. You had to Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C, Schedule D, Schedule E, Schedule F. You still got some of those same schedules in addition to these schedules. So it didn't really reduce the paperwork burden, as you see down at the bottom, under the Paperwork Act that took place back under the Jimmy Carter administration. But it didn't it didn't reduce the paperwork burden. It looked like it enhanced the paperwork burden, even though the form is shorter, but the forms that's attached to the schedules is what's still there. You have to attach the forms to the schedules, and the schedule information is not recorded on the reduced 1040. It didn't do a whole lot. That's not for me to do in this presentation. This presentation is to show you what is taking place. Now, the Schedule 5, other payments and refundable credit. A few minutes ago and before, we was talking about the non-refundable credits. Here we're talking about the other payments, and this is step one now. Hear what is being said. Other payments, and you have to get those other payments. Payments is money out of your pocket. Payments and non-refundable credits. So you may have had some credits that you now cannot get refunded through the government, and some of those credits you see that are listed in this process that are not refundable to you, but yet there's different forms that you got to attach and to the schedule in order that the schedule then will be forwarded to the 1040 form. I'm not going to get into that because that's not the purpose of this presentation. Now, these data here I took direct from the Internal Revenue's website. I took that was November the 23rd, the Black Friday. We're gonna talk about the Black Friday in just a minute. That's why I took these data from. The significance is to show you the forms and the schedules. You know, it's your Schedule F, Schedule SE, Schedule D, Schedule R. Schedule R is for retired. R stands for retired. And then to that, you're going to attach Schedule 1 and Schedule 4 to the 1040. Schedule D, we'll talk about that. Schedule E was for we'll talk about it also the properties. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. I'm going to go now to the business side of this, and this is what we're talking about now for you to get into understanding the primary purpose is to introduce a business to you. I can't introduce children to you or a child. I can't introduce or run a property to you, but I can introduce a business, and this is a $20 business. Hear that? $20. You can take $20 out right now today, start your $20 business for 2019 and 2018, or you can start in 2019. If you don't get this information in 2019, just start a business. It's going to be $20 tomorrow as it is today. Take $20 out of your pocket, start this business, and it's a travel and a lifestyle business. I do want you to concentrate more on lifestyle, even though travel comes first. But make sure that you concentrate upon lifestyle, because this is a service of 8 billion people. According to the Census Bureau, there's over 8 billion people in the world. And this business services all 8 billion people. And all 8 billion people do not travel. And to rest assured that. But all 8 billion people do live a lifestyle that are living. Only ones that don't have a lifestyle have already gone on to home to glory. But now, those of us who lives a lifestyle, this business is geared for those who live a lifestyle. And as we live that lifestyle, we create a cash back bank. Right under the Diamond Review lifestyle, the Diamond Review lifestyle, that's a video. The Diamond Review lifestyle is introducing you to the process to start the business and giving you a process to make a decision to start the business. And you do have to make a decision to start a business if you don't already have a business, or if you have a business already, you want to have people, property or businesses on your tax return. You can't have too many businesses. You can't have too many properties. I can introduce you to a gentleman that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of properties and over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses. and he runs our country. But so you can't have too many businesses. So start this business here for $20 and save all ALL receipts, all receipts, all receipts. every one that you produce. Every time you take your debit card out and spend $1, say the receipt. Every time you take cash money out of the ATM to spend money, say the receipts. Every time you go to McDonald's, say the receipt. Every time you take $1 out of your pocket, say the receipt. You're not going to be able to use all of the receipts, but we're going to reintroduce you to the Internal Revenue. A few minutes in a video is telling you about the paper audits that they conducted and why you need to have those receipts to answer to those paper audits. You can't answer to a paper audit if you don't have the paper. The receipt is a form of paper, or it may not be paper, but you need to have the receipt that you need in order to answer to the paper audit. That's Internal Revenue is going to be talking about in a few minutes. So let us move on. This is an introducing to the front part. This is a card that they put in your pocket, and the card is exclusive to savings on hotels, savings on resorts worldwide, among all 8 billion people who travel. If they have your card, they're going to save. And when they save, they're going to put money back into your bank. So then you see the cashback bank that I introduced to you early is to come from the Black Fridays, the Black Tuesdays, the Black Mondays, the Black Thursdays, the Black Sundays, the Black Saturdays. Don't care what day it is, it's a black day with regard to saving. Right now in America, there are thousands of people this morning was standing in line before the stores open to get into the store to buy something at a discount. That's what the Black Friday is all about. It's to save on what you buy on the buy. Well, the same manufacturer of those products in all of those shopping stores around the nation, those manufacturers will also sell directly to you. And you can have a Black Friday every Monday, every day of the week. You can have a black, just make the purchase on your store because the information that the store has is in your store. And you go to the Diamond Review Lifestyle, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And if you go to Money Funds My Lifestyle, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Those are the two steps I'm introducing you to now. My name is David Richardson. Under my name is my activation code. The company is about 3 or 4 months old, back in August when they started the company, and my number was 83. I was the 83rd person to join the company. And ever since that day, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are joining the company and saving money on their purchases that they're making, as opposed to standing in a Black Friday line to try to buy one article that you want to get at that price that day, when this manufacturer of that product will sell it directly to you off the manufacturer showroom. You can go to the manufacturer and buy it just cheaper than you would by standing in a Black Friday line. And when you do that, you're going to have a savings. And the savings that you have, just like Jackson just talking about in the advertising with the debit card, you're gonna get cash back, and that cash back goes into your own personal bank. And then they call it a cash back bank. So start your own cashback banking system by spending $20 to start a business, and it's going to cost you $10 a month to keep the store open so that Mary and John and Doe and all the other lottie dollars and everybody can go to your store. And when they buy stuff, they're going to buy it at the whole discount. Let me give you an idea what I'm talking about. On my store, and if you go to moneyfundsmylifestyle.com, you can buy an automobile right now, an automobile, and you're going to save at least $3,383. $3,383, but 12% of that savings that you're going to get will go into my cashback bank, and that's $507.45. That will go into my bank. And you want to make the purchase, but you bought the car. You just saved when you bought it $3,383. If you don't buy it from me and you go down the street and buy the same car from the same car dealer that you go pick it up from when you buy it from me, you're gonna spend $3,383 more. If you buy it from me, you'll spend $3,383 less, and they're gonna put $507.45 in my bank account. You can do the same thing by just spending $20 to start your business, and at the end of the year, the company the, is going to send you a 1099, and you send a copy of your 1099 with your tax return to Internal Revenue to verify that you earned the money that they done already reported to Internal Revenue, minus the expenses that you've incurred in order to do that, and all different kind of expenses that can be incurred to reduce the amount And that could be a minus according to internal revenue. It's going to take you 2, 3 to 4, 5 years in order for you to produce a profit. So from 2019 up until at least 2022, you're going to be operating the business at a loss. And that loss is going to reduce your tax liability on the earned income, the passive income, or the investment income that you have gotten over these years. Now, if you don't do that, you're going to miss out. Now, here, this is a back of the card that we're talking about. You're going to physically get this card in your hand. It's going to have your name on it. It's going to have your account number on it. It's going to have the expiration date on it. It's going to have a Visa on it because it's a Visa card, cashback bank card that the company give you when you enroll as a $20 investment on your company, $20 and $10 a month to maintain your online store. That's what we're talking about. You're running a business, and everybody then, instead of standing in the Black Friday line on the day after Thanksgiving or the Monday after the Thanksgiving celebration, they'll now be standing in line at your store, and they'll be perhaps laying in bed or in the park on the phone because this can be done. It's here at the bottom in the blue, mymobileshoppingmall.com. You can do this from a mobile phone. You can shop from a mobile phone. You know, maybe want to be like I did and buy your great grandchild bassinet by phone. Yeah, I don't really know by a computer, but I knew you can buy it directly from the manufacturer and spend less money than you would spend if you go down to the local store and buy it and ship it. I'm going to digress on this and try to move on this process. Whereas in this process, because we are over, and this is the end of the whole process, I'm going to introduce a video to you now, and that's going to be the internal revenue explaining to you about this, how you're going to be audited by mail. It's possible. I don't know if it will be, but I just know how many audits by mail I haven't ran into over the past 2, 3, or 4, or 5 years, and I've been in preparing income tax since 1968, and I noticed how many times I've had to go with my clients to the internal revenue, physically go and sit down and undergo an audit, as opposed to having them prepare documentation to send to the internal revenue by mail. I just can suggest to you that audit by mail is on an uprise because the president who signed this new bill into law and gave the reduction to all the businesses are going to put the money back into the treasury through the process of this audit by mail. So make sure you pay close attention to the information that the Internal Revenue is going to give you on this presentation in a video form about you being audited by mail, and what you need to have when you are audited by mail are those receipts and all of those transactions that you have. If you don't have a business, you don't have to worry about it. If you don't have people, you don't have to worry about it. If you don't have rental properties, you don't have to worry about it, because if you catch a standard deduction, there's no need for you to have a paper audit unless you have something on your standard deduction that's not true. And I don't recommend you ever put anything on your tax return that's not true, because it's only going to cost you, it's going to cost you to do it. And just don't do it. So why do it when you don't have to do it? All you got to do is save all of the receipts that you, every time you take $1 in your pocket, put it back in with $1 in form of a receipt. I'm going to conclude this now. Well, not in conclude. I'm going to let you watch these two videos, and then I'm going to sum it up from the last slide that we have to go through now. But pay attention to this. Listen, I just told you, you can go back and study it for yourself and look at it for yourself. And right there in the book of Ezekiel, over and over and over again, what God is telling the Son of Man, that you go tell him that I said this and I'm the Lord, and you tell him that I said it, I'm God Almighty. You tell them that I said it, but it's let me tell you, they're not going to listen. So please listen to what this is saying. I also recommend that you go back there and read that and listen to that too. That's first, and listen to that too. But also at the same time, letting the jokes go aside, set up a personal cashback banking system. Use that, and you're going to buy a whole lot less than what you buy. Every day become a Black Friday to you. And when you spend the money and the Black Friday on a Wednesday, you're going to put money in your bank account. If you spend it on a Friday, a Black Friday, whatever day you choose to be your Black Friday, it's going to put money in your bank account. Watch these two videos, and then I'm going to conclude it.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and I work for the Internal Revenue Service. We conduct many types of audits each year to verify income and expenses claimed on tax returns. Many of these audits are conducted by mail. So what do you do if you receive a letter that says the IRS is auditing your tax return by mail? First, be sure to read your letter carefully. The letter explains the issues involved and outlines the types of information you need to send to us. We may ask for an itemized list of the expenses or deductions in question. If you're not able to verify an amount claimed, just explain the issue and how you determine the amount reported on your tax return. After you've collected the requested information, attach photocopies of your documents to the audit letter you received. Use the envelope enclosed with your letter to send the information back to us. However, if your documents don't fit in the envelope, send us the information by using the address on the envelope. Don't send original documents, and it is always a good idea to keep copies of everything you send. Your letter has a fax number if you prefer to fax your information. But if you're faxing your documents, include your name and Social Security number on each page to ensure all pages are associated with your case file. Be sure to send your documents to us within 30 days. If you can't meet the deadline, call the number on the letter to discuss your situation and request additional time. After we receive your information, we'll review it. Then, you'll get another letter accepting your information or proposing changes to your tax return. If we propose changes to your tax return, this letter will also include two forms. Form 4549, Income Tax Examination Changes, which explains the proposed changes to your tax return, and Form 886A, Explanation of Items, which describes the specific changes and the reasons for them. If you understand and agree with the proposed changes, sign and date Form 4549. Use the envelope we provided to return the form with your payment. If you disagree with the proposed changes, you have the right to appeal, both within the IRS and before the courts. An explanation of how to appeal is included in the letter. Also, Publication 3498A, the examination process, audits by mail, is available on our website, irs.gov. This publication tells you what you need to do and explains your responsibilities and rights during and after an audit. Meanwhile, our website has information about what to do if you owe additional taxes, such as paying your tax bill or applying for an online payment plan. Remember, if you pay your tax bill in full, you will reduce the amount of interest and penalties you will owe. For more information about audits, go to irs.gov/audit.
Welcome to The Gift. In the next few minutes, I'm going to ask you to make a yes or no decision. It's a decision that will impact your life forever, and it's also the easiest decision you'll ever make. My name is Mark Seaforth, founder and CEO of Travel 10, The Gift, and several other travel companies. I wanted to personally share this story with you because of my deep passion and sincere excitement for what you're about to see and hear. Maybe once in your lifetime, something comes along that is really different, something that can impact your life forever, something that is truly easy, something that actually saves you thousands of dollars year in and year out, something that can give you a life-changing income, something where you can't fail, you can only succeed, something that is fun and exciting. What I've just described is the gift. The person who shared this gift with you has already told you that if you can say no to the gift, you will receive a $1,000 gift card. So, for the next few minutes, simply watch and listen closely and then make your yes or no decision. Either way, you win. So let's get started. The gift is about answering two questions. First, Would you spend $10 a month to save yourself thousands of dollars every year, and I mean literally thousands of dollars, on all the things that you love to do? Yes or no? Second question, would you spend $10 a month for a business to make thousands of dollars a month in and month out, and quite possibly become wealthy without ever having to sell anything? Yes or no? Of course you'd answer yes to each question if you believed it was real. So let me share with you the story of the gift and how real this is. You joined Travel 10 as a travel and lifestyle advocate, TLA, for $20 a month. That's your total risk. You now have private access to the world of travel and lifestyle benefits at true wholesale pricing. This is pricing that's not available to the public. Secondly, you now own a business that makes you money simply by sharing the gift with others. And whether they say yes or no, you still make money. Now think about that. It sounds incredible and impossible, but as you will see, you can only win. I'll explain how in just a minute. First, let's go back to question one of the gift and prove how spending $10 a month can easily save you thousands of dollars a year on all the things you love to do. It starts with a $40 million travel technology platform that you get to use as if you owned it yourself. Vacations and travel together make up the largest business industry in the world, creating revenues of more than $1 trillion a year. Folks, that's a big number. Today, almost all travel is booked online or direct with the hotels. Either way, you're paying retail. With Travel 10, you will be paying wholesale for your vacations and travel for the rest of your adult life. How smart is that? Here's how we do it. Before Travel 10, when you booked your vacation or travel online, you were booking only through Expedia or Priceline. That's right, they own all the others. That in itself is a big surprise to most because you don't have the choices you think you have. Plus, you are paying public or retail pricing. Travel 10 is the exact opposite. Travel 10 is private access, not available to the public, and therefore provides the same hotel or resort at wholesale pricing. Let's take a look at a real-time example. You are looking at a screenshot from Travel 10's hotel and resort website. The example shows a 3-day stay in Orlando. If you look at the drop-down window, the lowest public price is $592. Your price through Travel 10 is $349. You save $242. Now that's a serious savings. Let's look at a 1-week international stay in Rome, Italy. Personally, it's one of my favorite places in the world to visit. The public price is $1,444. Your price through Travel 10 is $873. You saved $571. Again, a big savings. And think about this. We only showed 2 examples of more than 500,000 plus hotels and resorts worldwide for you to choose from. As you've seen by the examples, it would be easy to save $1,000 on your annual vacation or travels. But what if you're not traveling? Travel 10 can still save you hundreds of dollars every month on all the other things you like to do close to your home. Sporting events, entertainment, amusement parks, save a real 10 to 20%. Movies, save 40% on tickets. Dining out, spend $20 to save $100. Even with your everyday shopping, you save serious dollars. This all happens through your Travel 10 subscription, which is not available to the general public. For me, what makes the gift and Travel 10 so exciting is that it is 100% real. A true value proposition for every person in America. No games, no gimmicks, just tremendous savings every day of your life. And since you're now in the travel business, there are even tax benefits for much of what you do, which means even more dollars back in your pockets. And the best part is yet to come. The answer to question 2 of the gift and how spending $10 a month to own your own business can easily make you thousands of dollars monthly. I know it sounds ridiculous to say own a business for $10 monthly and make thousands monthly, but again, it's 100% real. So let's look at how simple and easy it is to build a lifetime residual income from simply sharing the gift. Someone shared the gift with you, either person to person or through social media. By doing the same thing, this is what you can earn. This example is based on you having 10 people who want what the gift has to offer. It could be much less, 1, 2, or 3 people personally, or way more than 10. No matter what you do, you win. When a person joins Travel 10, they become a travel and lifestyle advocate, for short a TLA, and a customer. The example is based on each TLA having only one customer. Only one. All commissions are based on customer subscriptions. By default, most people will have 5 or more customers, which makes this income example much larger than shown. Your goal is to have 10 TLAs in the first 30 days. With the gift and what this business offers, that's pretty easy to do. But if it takes longer, who cares? Look at what 10 TLAs with only one customer each creates in income for you. The first generation is $10 a month in income. In effect, each TLA, who also is a customer with one customer, equals $1 in income per month per TLA to you. The second generation of income is based on 10 TLAs, each getting 10, or a total of 100, which equals $100 per month. The third generation equals 1,000 TLAs as customers with only one customer, each making you an additional $1,000 per month. The next generation equals $10,000 per month in income to you. And it goes on through 8 generations at 10% of all customer commissions. And all it takes to qualify to receive income on your 9th and 10th generation is 2 more customers. Of course, the illustration shows you what can happen, but this is not a guarantee of income. Yet, a little work can go a long ways. And whether you have 1 person on your first generation or 30, dreams do come true. It's totally up to you. Now it's time to make your decision. But first, one more little surprise. Remember, you were told that if you can say no to the gift, which is this amazing, life-changing opportunity, you would receive a $1,000 gift card for saying no. And that's true. You'll be given private access to Travel 10's hotel and resorts booking engine that you can use at no cost until you've used up $1,000 in real savings. But here's the wow factor. When you save a legitimate $1,000, the person that shared the gift with you receives $500 cash. Yes, that's correct, $500 in cash. And you don't care because you saved a real $1,000. Imagine that. You say yes and join Travel 10. You and the person that shared the gift with you both win. You say no and accept your $1,000 gift card with no strings attached. You and the person that shared this with you both win. There's nothing like this in existence. To summarize, the gift in Travel 10 is a simple and affordable business that every person on the planet can own. There's no selling involved because a yes is good and a no is good. You have a tremendous product value that saves you more than you spend by a very large margin. And finally, the gift is easy to replicate, which results in a very nice, ever-growing residual income. And there is nothing better than residual income. And it pays you every month, month in and month out, for the rest of your life. Thank you for taking the time to look at the gift. And without a doubt, the best opportunity in America. Now it's your turn to make your yes or no decision. Click on the Your Choice button below to decide what's best for you.
Okay. Now, your personal $20 bill, you can spend $20. Your personal $20 bank link is Money Funds My Lifestyle. You go there, and it's going to give you some in-depth. Help me prepare my incometax.com, and you can send me information. Email me at myirs2@gmail.com. And you can enroll at Money is My Plan B. And everybody, including you, should have a plan B. Your plan A, it could be more than this bigger in the bag of potato chips. I don't know what your plan A is. If it's satisfactory, no problem. Your plan B in this process is for you to have a business so that you don't have to pay all that money out of your plan A. Set up the plan B and save receipts. And your plan B then will enhance your plan A. And if you decide you want to leave your plan A, your plan B is still in the shape because you're going to continue to live a lifestyle. And this is about your lifestyle. It does say travel and lifestyle. Once you become a TLA, you're going to become a travel and lifestyle advocate. It's going to go back when you see this. When you enroll at Money is My Plan B, once you do that, you're going to become a travel lifestyle advocate. You may not ever travel. I know I don't do a whole lot of traveling, but I do live a lifestyle. And every time I go to the whatever facility I go to buy something, it costs me money. And now I'm going to continue to do that as I'm already doing, do the same thing I've always done. I'm going to spend less money in the process of doing it. And when I spend the less money, I get money back. And that money goes into my cash back bank. Do you hear what I'm saying? And every time you pass me, I'm going to give you a cash back bank card for you to start your facility. Now, I'm have to go to Hawaii. I'm living in Washington, D.C. I may have to travel to Hawaii to give someone some of my cashback bank cards. Well, my trip to Hawaii is tax deductible. I may have to stay in a hotel while I'm there. My hotel expenses are tax deductible. My food that I eat is tax deductible because I'm going there only for one purpose, and that's to operate my cashback bank business, if you can understand what I'm saying. All of the receipts that I produce, I'm going to save my receipts to prove that I was in the hotel. I'm going to save my receipt to show that my plane flight that I took was for the purpose of me conducting my business. And my business is going to support what I'm saying, because while I'm there, I'm going to give away my own processed products to show that I produce income while I was there. Now my trip and my income are all reported, but it's not all taxable. Goodbye. This is David. Wait, let me one more thing. Call me. If you want to talk further, call me. Leave me your information, because when you call me, it is a form for me to collect your number, because I don't have time to talk to everybody at the same time. 301-328-1259. Again, that's toll free. It doesn't look like it's a toll free number, but it's just like an 800 number because it's an internet number. Hear that? It's an internet number, which makes it toll free regardless of where you are. 301-328-1259. It's going to immediately let me know that you called me, and I'll call you back and we'll discuss this further. But if $20 is going to break you, then it's going to be too late when you get your tax bill. The monthly fee is for you to have your cashback banking system is $10 a month. That's tax deductible. It's $120 a year. That's tax deductible. If the $120 is going to break you, then this is not for you. If the $20 out of pocket one time is going to break you, this is not for you. But you still gonna need on your tax return. You're gonna need people. You're gonna need a rental property or properties. You're gonna need a business or businesses on your tax return to reduce your tax liability and increase your tax refund. This is David bidding you a farewell and a goodbye. And remember, I love you, but God loves you even more. Bye-bye.